We are rapidly becoming a surveillance state. That's not all bad. The threat of terrorism has created a dangerous world, and surveillance can help with our security. But do we need to watch the eyes watching us? The answer may be yes. Believe it or not, we're buying a lot of surveillance cameras from foreign countries that may be able to turn them into spying eyes. Our Lisa Fletcher explains how.
Walk around our nation's capital. Nowadays, security is as evident as the iconic dome up on the hill. Barriers on the ground, and if you look up, the ever-growing network of cameras that watch your every move. Most think those spying eyes work to make us more secure. That may not be the case.
If you take Chinese electronics, it's 80% of the U.S. market. And the fact that instead of providing security, they're providing insecurity.
Dr. Stephen Bryan was the Pentagon's Deputy Undersecretary of Defense. For years, he's been sounding the alarm bells about foreign governments weaving their way into our classified systems. Many use the backdoors of cameras, a generic security code that easily grants remote access.
Is this a well-kept secret that these cameras are insecure?
It's not a secret, it's just it's a well-kept lack of attention to security that's permeating the U.S. government and the private sector as well.
China is the world's leading exporter of security equipment, accounting for more than a quarter of the global market. By 2021, that number is expected to increase to 38%. A pair of powerhouse Chinese companies, Hikvision and Dahua, driving the bulk of that growth.
At Hikvision, we are committed to unleashing the power of machine vision.
Let's start with Hikvision, 42% owned by the Chinese government. Their cameras are helping the Memphis police scan the city streets for crime. They also once served as the security eyes inside the U.S. Embassy in Kabul, Afghanistan.
If somebody really wanted to attack, let's say, an American embassy, they'd shut down all the cameras, they'd be blind, and then they could attack them with relative ease.
Is that hard to do?
No, not today. No, because they're all insecure. And a denial of, we call it denial of service attack, which means to flood the system so it no longer functions, is one of the easiest attacks to launch against a camera system.
This is something that we think is prevalent throughout the industry.
Terry Dunlap is a veteran of the National Security Agency, where he researched security vulnerabilities. He's now CEO of Refirm Labs, a cybersecurity firm. His team recently looked at China's second largest camera manufacturer, Dahua. In most cases, he says, backdoors are simply the result of human error. But that's not what his team found when they hacked into this Dahua camera.
So your conclusion is that when Dahua created the firmware, they intentionally left a back door there for people to enter through.
That is our claim. That is what we stand behind.
According to its website, Dahua cameras provided exclusive security for the 2016 Olympic Games in Brazil. And their cameras monitor part of the LA Police Department that covers the Compton School District.
This is not Hollywood anymore, where you can freeze the image to look like nothing is happening while somebody breaks in, steals a vehicle, breaks into a data center, steals some hard drives or some servers.
This is the 2018 version of Sandra Bullock in Speed, right?
Yeah, or Ocean's 11.
You're watching your monitors? Okay, keep watching.
You understand why this freaks people out?
Yeah, absolutely. It should. It should freak people out. And what we plan to do here is simulate an attack.
Terry's team showed us exactly how quickly and easily we can access the back door of a security camera. Cameras similar to those used in the American Embassy in Kabul.
So, Terry, this is your server room, and we're looking at a live feed from a surveillance camera.
Yes, and we find these surveillance cameras in many server rooms.
Okay, I'm going to walk into that room just to show everybody that that's
Alrighty.
actually a live picture of what's going on. All right, so now I'm in their server room, visible on the live surveillance feed.
And once she leaves, we will simulate the attack.
Among the lines of code the hacker types, the word freeze.
So what has happened here is that we have actually launched an attack that has frozen the image in place. And now that the image is frozen, this will allow an attacker or some nefarious individual to enter the server room without any suspicion from a security personnel like myself.
So now I'm going to go back into the server room now that that surveillance camera has been hacked. And the surveillance camera that's been hacked has a frozen image of a clean room. You cannot see me. The only place I'm visible is on our cameras.
We spend billions of dollars on cyber security. It's like securing Jell-O. I mean, you know, it's wasted time. Instead of those billions of dollars going down the hole, why don't we spend the money on something that really does support security and that's worthwhile? And so when you consider the tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in the defense budget each year, that's a lot of money. And to see that compromise is very dispiriting. It's very bad.
Is Congress doing anything?
Yeah, just a few weeks ago, Dahua and Hikvision were the subject of a congressional committee on cybersecurity. We reached out to both. Hikvision told us that their cameras are not used by the Chinese government to spy on us, and that they don't have access to the cameras that customers buy. And Dahua has not responded to any of our requests for comment.
It is scary.
It is.
Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah.